Hey guys, it's Dr. Kresho here for another, and this one I'm super excited about because the weather is amazing and beautiful. Live tonight we're going to be talking about, very important topic, I forgot what the topic was. The most overlooked part when trying to fix your shoulder pain. Now you might be wondering why the heck I'm on the floor and what this thing is, and we'll get to it, it's all part of the plan. But a couple things to keep in mind. Number one, this is very important, you're not allowed at home to laugh at me. I'll be raising my arms, I'm not 100% sure, I might be a little bit sweaty, just saying, you're not allowed to laugh at me at home, okay, number one. Number two, I'm going to be showing you, so yes, of course I'm going to be talking about the most overlooked part about your shoulder. The one part, if you could just start adding this, it would make a huge difference, but I'm also going to be sharing with you two other exercises that are really going to be helpful and valuable, so make sure that you watch to the end. Now, a couple things. The shoulder joint is the most injured and the most abused joint in the whole body, and now here's why. It's the most abused, number one, because it's the least stable. It's also the most mobile, right? The shoulder joint, I mean, look at the amount of flexibility and the ranges of motion that we're supposed to have with our shoulder. And the way your body works, which is really cool, is that in order to have that type of mobility, you've had to sacrifice some stability. So in order for your shoulder to be able to do the wonderful things that it should be able to do, you've had to sacrifice some stability for that joint. Now, something really, really important. Listen, guys, this is going to be at tops. I don't know how long I'm going to go for, but one thing is 100% sure. There is literally volumes of information written on and talked about the shoulder. It is a very challenging joint to fix and to rehab. What I'm going to show you is going to be helpful, but it's not the full story. It's part of the story. Okay, I'm going to give you the principles first, but the most important thing, you have to do the work. There's nothing that I can do, or anybody, and there's lots of good, smart people out there helping with shoulder problems. There's nothing that any of them are going to be able to do unless you actually go through the work. So the exercises, I've worked it out. If you were to do what I'm going to be talking about tonight, it should take you between 5 and 7 minutes to do, which is not a long time, especially when you're getting started. So just integrate these things nice and slowly. It's all about creating the habits. Now, let me give you the punchline first. Let me give you the most overlooked part because it's the most important. And the most overlooked part is the inability of your upper thoracic spine to be able to move like this. Now, I would consider the upper part or the thoracic part of your spine to be part of the shoulder, because one of the ways the shoulder blade is pretty much through muscle connected to what's happening through your upper back. Now, most of the time we spend most of our days sitting in this posture with our shoulders internally rotated, and either we're checking our phones or we're on a computer or we're in a car. And what that does is that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on your upper back and on your shoulder, and you get this rounded posture. And if you have this rounded posture, one of the things that you're not going to be able to do is you're not going to be able to reverse that posture and get your shoulders back and down, which is your normal, natural posture for your shoulder. So let me explain this to you. The first thing that you need to do when you're trying to fix your shoulder is, number one, you have to get mobility back in your shoulder. Meaning, if you're sitting like this all day, one of the things that you're not going to be able to do is you're not going to be able to open up and get your arms wide like this. And if you can't do that, you're always going to have shoulder problems. So step number one is to make sure that your shoulders are mobile. Make sure that the mobility is there in your shoulders. The next thing is to make sure that your shoulder gets strong. We're very chest dominant, very weak when it comes to our pulling motions. So for example, you go to the gym and you like to train your chest, and you're relatively strong when it comes to your chest, but then when it comes to some type of pull-up or pulling action, there's a lot of people, the majority of people, maybe even you, walking around can't do a body weight pull-up, right? There's far more people that can do push-ups than can do pull-ups, which is an instability problem with your shoulder. So the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that our spine is that our shoulder is mobile. The next thing we want to do is make sure that it's strengthening. So let's get to the first exercise, which is learning how to open up your thoracic spine. Now, I have a foam roller here. Here's what I want you to do. You're going to put it down on the ground like this, and we're going to start to undo this forward head, rounded shoulders posture. And all we're going to do is put the foam roller on part of our spine, interlock your fingers like this, put them behind your head, and all I want you to do is I want you to spend some time opening up your spine, but make sure that you're supporting your head. Now, here is the key to this. Like, what you will probably do is you'll hop on and you'll go up and down once or twice and you'll think, okay, it's good. So it takes, listen to this because this is really important, it takes at least 2 minutes under tension to start to change the muscles and the ligaments and the tendons of any part of your body. So if you're going to do this, the minimum amount of time that I want you to do it for is 2 minutes. And if your upper back is really bad and really weak, it will hurt a lot. So if you can't get to 2 minutes in one shot, break it up, but at least get to 2 minutes total. Okay, so that's 2 minutes of exercise, and that's exercise number 1. And again, this is the most important part, because for you, and the majority of you, it's because your upper back's not working. And the ability to be able to do this is vital, and you're missing that step. Okay, so please, please, please add that exercise. The next one's gonna be a lot harder. It's called a reverse snow angel. And I gotta make sure that my shirt's untucked for this one. So if you can do it like this is the hard way. You're gonna lay down on your stomach. You're gonna make sure that your butt here, I'll slide a little bit this way. You're gonna make sure that your butt is tight. You can put a pillow or something on your head. What you're gonna do is you're gonna start with your thumbs facing the ground. You're gonna keep your shoulders off the ground like this. And what you're gonna do, I'm gonna hit the bench up here, but you're gonna move your arms up. You're gonna turn your thumbs up like this, and you're gonna get to the top, and you don't want your hands to touch the ground. So we're gonna be doing this. And you wanna make sure that your arms are staying nice and straight. If that is challenging, then what you can do is you can find a little bit of wall space like this and do it against the wall. The point is, it's going to help strengthen the back part of your back, your upper back, and your rotator cuff. Okay, so that's the strengthening exercise. So we got this for mobility. We got our next strengthening exercise. And the last one that I want you to do, and I'm gonna change the angle of the camera so you can see me, like this, is to find yourself some nice wall space. Get your one leg straight, your other leg against the wall like this. You're gonna start with your arm. I want your back against the wall. You don't have to use any weight. You're gonna start like this. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna let your arm come down and then lift it back up. And the goal is not to do it really fast. The goal is to make sure when you're coming down that your elbow stays against the wall, that we're feeling a nice stretch in the back part of our rotator cuff. If you have a 1 pound or so, even a can you can use, just make sure that we're going up like this. And make sure that we are getting both arms. So, for the reverse snow angels, you can do that 10 times. And for the external rotation exercise, do that 10 times. So, 2 minutes, and then 10 times, and then 10 times. Should not take you longer than 5 minutes to do, and it'll be a great start to, number 1, making sure that your upper spine can start to move, which will be a complete game changer. Number 2, making sure that we're starting to strengthen the little postural muscles around your shoulder, and it'll help get you into better shape. Thank you for listening. If you need any more information about what we do here, the link is above my head, as always. More importantly, if this was valuable, please hit the share button so other people can see it, or even better is tag them in the bottom, and then they definitely will see it. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the weather. I hope it stays awesome, and I'll chat with you guys next week.